Right now, inside your brain, lies the most powerful secret of human potential. It's not your mind, not your thoughts, not even your intelligence. It's a small pine cone-shaped gland, deep within your skull, called the pineal gland. Most people have never heard of it. Even fewer understand what it really is. And almost no one is taught how to activate it. Because if you did, everything about your reality would change. The pineal gland has been called many names: the seat of the soul, the third eye, the crown of the mind, the stargate within. And it's not just metaphor, it's biology, it's energy, it's memory. The ancients knew it. Modern science avoids it. And systems of control have worked hard to keep you disconnected from it. Why? Because once it awakens, you can't be programmed. You can't be manipulated. You see through the illusion. So what is it? The pineal gland is located in the center of the brain, nestled between the two hemispheres, in a region known as the epithalamus. It's the only part of the brain that sits alone, unpaired, like it's watching. It contains rods and cones, the same light-sensitive cells found in your eyes. It produces melatonin to regulate sleep, and in certain states, it's believed to release DMT, the spirit molecule. But beyond biology, the pineal gland is a cosmic antenna. It connects you to frequencies beyond the five senses. When dormant, you live in survival. When awakened, you live in truth. The pineal gland is your bridge between the physical and the energetic, the material and the mystical, the brain and the beyond. It's how you access intuition, feel your connection to source, perceive energy, receive downloads, travel dimensions, heal faster, manifest clearer, and awaken to who you really are. But here's the problem. For most people, the pineal gland is calcified, hardened, disconnected, asleep. Not because they're lazy, not because they're not spiritual, but because the modern world is designed to shut it down. Through fluoride in water and toothpaste, EMF exposure, processed food, lack of sunlight, overstimulation, fear-based conditioning, and most of all, distraction. You've been trained to look out there for answers instead of looking within, because if you ever looked inside and saw what you really are, you'd never be controllable again. In part 2, we'll explore how the pineal gland became the most targeted part of the human body, and why those in power have always feared its activation. Because this isn't about spirituality, it's about sovereignty. And your freedom starts with awareness. Why is the pineal gland never mentioned in school? Why isn't it common knowledge despite its unique properties? Because the pineal gland isn't just part of your biology, it's a gateway to your sovereignty. And sovereignty is a threat to systems built on control. Here's what you need to understand. Every empire, every religion, every government that's ever wanted control has done one thing first: disrupt the human connection to source. Because if you access that directly, you stop obeying blindly. You stop consuming unconsciously. You stop fearing endlessly. You start seeing. And the pineal gland is the biological access point to that awakening. So, they shut it down. Let's talk how. 1. Fluoride. One of the biggest culprits, added to public water for your teeth. But science shows it calcifies the pineal gland, literally hardening it with calcium deposits. A blocked pineal equals no signal, no clarity, no connection, and most people have no idea. 2. Processed food and chemical additives. Your food isn't just nutrition, it's frequency, and most processed foods are loaded with neurotoxins, hormone disruptors, heavy metals, GMOs, all of which dull your system, block energy, and feed the fog. Your pineal gland is extremely sensitive. If you poison your field, you jam your access. 3. EMFs, and blue light. The modern world is saturated in electromagnetic chaos. Wi-Fi, 5G, cell towers, screens everywhere. Your pineal gland works with light, natural cycles, cosmic rhythm. But artificial light, especially blue light from screens, overloads and confuses the gland. You lose melatonin. You lose rhythm. You lose the natural flow of spiritual signal. And without signal, you stay asleep. 4. Constant distraction. Here's the biggest weapon of all: noise. Endless notifications, scrolling, media, fear, stress. Your pineal gland needs stillness to activate. Silence, darkness, natural states. But you're never left alone long enough to hear it. Because the system knows, if they sit still long enough, they'll wake up. So they keep you moving, clicking, chasing. But here's what they didn't expect. You'd start remembering anyway. You'd feel the pull toward something ancient. You'd start questioning. You'd start clearing. You'd start looking inward again. That's why you're here, and that's how the awakening begins. In Part 3, we'll dive into the first signs of pineal gland reactivation, how to know it's waking up, what it feels like, and how to navigate the shift. Because when the gateway reopens, the world starts to look very different. And you start to see what was always hidden. It doesn't begin with a light show. It doesn't come with thunder. It begins with sensation. Subtle, unmistakable. The pineal gland reactivates slowly, like a radio retuning itself after years of static. And when it does, you'll begin to feel it. Let's talk about the signs. 1. Pressure or tingling in the forehead. You may feel a gentle pressure between your brows. Sometimes it pulses. Sometimes it feels like a warm hum. That's not your imagination. That's energy flowing to your third eye. The pineal gland sits behind that point, and when it activates, your body notices. Don't fight it. Don't analyze it. Just breathe into it. You're tuning in. 2. Heightened sensitivity to light and sound. Your senses may begin to sharpen. Light feels more intense. Colors more vivid. Music more emotional. Noise more disruptive. Why? Because your pineal is a frequency processor. As it clears, your field expands, and you begin to notice what you've been tuned out of. It's not overload, it's restored perception. 3. Vivid dreams and altered sleep. Your dream world starts changing. You remember more. The symbols are clearer. The themes feel alive. Sometimes you wake up with insight, sometimes with emotion, sometimes with messages you didn't expect. You're not just dreaming, you're receiving. Because the pineal is most active during sleep. And when it's clear, your inner screen comes back online. 4. Spontaneous intuition. You start knowing things before they happen. You sense people's intentions. You feel truth behind someone's words. You see patterns others don't see. This isn't paranoia. It's not magic. It's signal clarity. You're no longer guessing. You're reading frequency. And it will feel natural. Like remembering a language you once knew, because you did. 5. Inner pull towards stillness, nature, and solitude. You may find yourself craving quiet, craving the forest, craving time away from noise, devices, and chaos. That's not depression. That's not withdrawal. It's your field recalibrating. Your soul remembers what nourishes your pineal. And now that it's waking up, it's guiding you back to alignment. Trust it. You don't need to force this process. You just need to become aware of it. Because the more you honor the subtle shifts, the faster they unfold. You don't need rituals. You don't need perfection. You just need to listen. In Part 4, we'll go deeper into the practices that strengthen and accelerate pineal awakening, daily habits, energetic tools, and foods that turn your inner antenna back on. Because this isn't just about opening a gland, it's about upgrading your entire operating system. If you're starting to feel this shift in your body and mind, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Your awakening is already in motion. You've felt the activation, the pressure, the intuition, the dreams. Now it's time to go from awakening to amplification. Because the pineal gland isn't just a switch, it's a muscle. And like any muscle, it strengthens through use. Let's explore the most effective ways to support and accelerate its power. 1. Practice stillness. Every day. Stillness is fuel. Your pineal responds to silence, to presence, to awareness. You don't need to meditate like a monk. Just commit to daily nothingness. 5 to 10 minutes. Eyes closed. Breath slow. No music. Just being. That's where signal gets stronger. 2. Sunlight in the morning. Darkness at night. The pineal is light responsive. Sunlight during the early hours tells it, wake up. Darkness at night tells it, activate. Expose your eyes and skin to natural morning light. No sunglasses, no phone. And at night, cut the blue light. Screens off. Lights low. Sleep in darkness. Let melatonin flow. That's when the pineal heals and reboots. 3. Eat high-frequency foods. Food is frequency. To fuel your third eye, avoid fluoride, refined sugar, processed meat, synthetic additives, and instead consume raw greens, chlorophyll, eels decalcification, spirulina, chlorella, and blue-green algae, turmeric, ginger, coconut oil, cacao, spring water, no tap. Every bite either opens the channel or clogs it. Eat like someone who's reactivating their ancient system. 4. Use sound and frequency. Your pineal resonates with sound, especially frequencies between 432 Hz, 963 Hz. Try solfeggio frequencies, crystal bowls, tuning forks, binaural beats, Om chanting. Sound vibrates the pineal awake. It shakes the calcification. It calls the spirit back into the body. You don't have to understand how, just listen and feel. 5. Work with crystals and earth tools. Certain stones resonate directly with the pineal. Amethyst, lapis lazuli, selenite, moldavite, if you're ready for fast shifts. Place them on your brow during rest. Meditate with them in hand, or simply wear them. Your energy field recognizes allies, and the earth remembers your code. 6. Breath, evil activation. The simplest, fastest tool? Your breath. Try this once a day. Inhale deeply through the nose for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through the mouth slowly for 6. While doing this, visualize a beam of light traveling from your spine up to the center of your brain, charging your pineal like a crystal. This daily breath ritual builds energy and deepens clarity. None of this is about perfection. It's about presence, consistency, intention. Your pineal responds to commitment. Even 5 minutes a day will shift your signal. Because when you show up, the inner eye opens wider. In Part 5, we'll explore what happens when your pineal is fully activated. Visions, downloads, higher guidance, energy awareness, and why your perception of reality will never be the same. This isn't just about seeing more. It's about becoming more of who you already are. So what happens when the pineal gland is fully active? The veil lifts. The distortion fades. You begin to perceive truth, not opinion, not belief. Truth, vibrational, energetic, undeniable. The world doesn't look different, but you do. And that subtle shift changes everything. Let's explore what it means to live with an awakened pineal. 1. Inner vision activates. The first shift is visual, but not with your eyes. You begin seeing symbols, light codes, geometry, patterns that appear during meditation, dream, or quiet moments. These are not hallucinations. They are frequencies decoded. You're receiving what was always there, but filtered out. Now, the filter's gone. 2. Intuition becomes primary guidance. You stop thinking through decisions. You feel through them. You know when something is off, before evidence. You know when something is right, despite doubt. This is not guesswork. This is resonant awareness. The pineal acts like a tuning fork. When your field is aligned, you vibrate in harmony with your path, and that inner signal leads you exactly where you need to go. 3. Timelines shift. Linear time loses its grip. You begin sensing future potentials, the energy behind past choices, how one decision alters multiple layers of reality. You start living in sync with flow. Opportunities appear. People show up. Doors open because you're on frequency. And that frequency is your future self, pulling you forward. 4. Communication with the unseen. You may start receiving messages, not as voices, not as thoughts, but as knowings, images, sudden downloads, guidance that feels higher, wiser, deeper. Some call them spirit guides. Some call them higher self. Some call them memory. Label doesn't matter. What matters is you're no longer alone in the dark. You're connected to Source, and that connection is active. 5. Loss of fear, rise of presence. Perhaps the most profound shift. You stop fearing. Not because life is perfect, but because you've seen through the illusion. Fear loses grip when you realize you're more than your body. Understand death isn't the end. Feel your connection to the infinite. Trust your alignment over external chaos. You stop reacting. You start responding. And you begin living. Present. With the pineal awakened, you walk through the same world as everyone else. But what you see, feel, and know is entirely different. You see energy. You feel intention. You recognize soul in people's eyes. You've remembered, and no one can take that away from you. In Part 6, the final chapter, we'll bring this all together. Why pineal activation is more than a spiritual upgrade. Why it's part of your soul's mission. And how to walk in the world as someone who sees clearly in a time of great confusion. The world is shifting, and your activated vision is exactly what it needs. You've seen the signs, you've felt the shift, you've remembered, and now you see. Not with your physical eyes, but with your inner vision, clear, direct, and undeniable. Your pineal gland isn't just awake, it's alive, and your perception will never be the same. But awakening is not a finish line, it's a beginning. The real question is, how will you live? Now that you see, with an activated pineal, you carry responsibility, because clarity is a power, and power must be held with integrity. You've been gifted access to higher guidance, subtle energy, quantum timelines, conscious communication, inner truth. So now the work is embodiment. Here's what that looks like. You trust your intuition over trends. You move from resonance, not reaction. You protect your energy without apology. You seek silence as often as stimulation. You question narratives, not from fear but from awareness. You align with truth, even when it's uncomfortable. You've stepped outside the illusion, but you still walk within it. And that's the mission, to bring light to the grid, not escape from it. Some will mock this path. Some will doubt it. Some will fear it. Let them. They are still in the forgetting. You are not here to convince them. You're here to remember for yourself. And in doing that, you become a signal for others to follow. Without noise, without force. Just frequency. Your pineal is your compass, your truth detector, your guide through this era of distortion. Keep it clear. Keep it sharp. Keep it sacred. And remember, every time you close your eyes, you're not disconnecting. You're tuning in to Source, to wisdom, to who you've always been. So walk forward, clear-eyed, grounded, awake, not above the world, but through it, because your inner eye is open, and the world is waiting for what you came here to be.